Hi, it's Ra, Rishi Kavi Raghudas from Star Presence Astrology, here to give the astrological forecast for Friday, March 27th, 2026. And yes, I'm dressed in bright colors today, especially the gold, because it is kind of a golden day today, energy-wise. Let me explain. The sun today is at 6, moving to 7 degrees of dynamic and impetuous, fire sign Aries. And the moon, early in the day, moves from the ultra-sensitive water sign Cancer into the grand and glorious fire sign of Leo. So we're always here in the gold when the moon is in Leo because it's ruled by the sun, and the sun is associated with gold. Before it moves into Leo, the moon makes a harmonious 60-degree sextile to Uranus, the planet of sudden change and often chaos, but this is a nice harmonious angle, so you might just wake up in the morning with a brilliant idea. That occurs early in the day, 4:40 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 7:40 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and 12:40 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Moon at 28 degrees of Cancer, sextile Uranus, 28 degrees of Taurus. Then the moon moves into fire sign Leo at 7:10 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 10:10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and 3:10 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. When both sun and moon are in fire signs, it is always a very active, very busy, and sometimes quite inspirational day, unless there are actual fires around, which can be destructive. But in any case, fire is an action-oriented element, so we can expect today to be very busy. Not only that, the moon makes generally harmonious aspects because sun and moon are both in fire signs. And there are planets in other fire signs, namely Aries, which are trine, made into fortunate angles today by the moon. The moon at 2 degrees of Leo, for example, makes a harmonious flowing trine to Neptune, the planet of dreams and visions, 2 degrees of Aries, which is nice and dreamy and creative and meditative, at 10:45 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 1:45 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and 6:45 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Then we go several hours, that would be about 6 hours, where a free-floating Leo moon just kind of floats along, which is very, very nice and pretty happy-go-lucky, until we get to the afternoon into the evening when the moon at 5 degrees of Leo makes a flowing trine to Saturn, the planet of discipline and structure, but this is good for getting things done and just kind of taking care of business. The Saturn's at 5 degrees of Aries. 4:01 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 7:01 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and 12:01 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time is when that occurs. Just a few minutes later, the moon makes an opposition to Pluto, the lord of concentrated power, at 5 degrees of Aquarius. This is the only fly in the ointment today. This is not so fun. You want to be careful under this aspect, not to get into power issues with people because it is possible. 4:12 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 7:12 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and 12:12 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Then in the evening, 4 hours later, the moon does make its harmonious flowing trine to the sun itself, 7 degrees of Leo, to the sun at 7 degrees of Aries, and this is just about as good as it gets for going out on a Friday night. 8:16 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 11:16 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and 4:16 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Overall, a generally harmonious and wonderful day. It's the energy to go have fun. So in the midst of all of this other stuff going on, that's what I recommend. I'm Ra, Rishi Kavi Raghudas from Star Presence Astrology. Now, if you'd like to have a personal reading with me, you can book it on my website, starpresence.net. Remember, from the very moment that you're born, you've got star presence. Enjoy today, no matter what.